Because like if they
Yeah.
can keep this system going where they're getting these fast players and they can just use Crosby and Malkin and Letang even as long as they can, as many years as they can get out of them. I think they can bring home at least one more. I'd love to see Crosby get one more in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Let's jump fully into this because I think this is like the biggest talking point of the podcast. Like Crosby and Malkin, where's their career going to go from here? Do the Penguins ever trade them? Do they win another cup? Do they just, do they miss the playoffs at all in their era? That would be quite something if they just don't miss the playoffs at all in the Crosby and Malkin era. Um, so yeah, I think where I'm at, like, you can definitely build around Crosby and Malkin, and obviously their playing styles are terrific. They're two of the most elite players in the world. But another thing is the money that they make and the contract situation. Crosby has set the Penguins up really nicely, taking an 8.7 mil a year deal. This guy is one of the best players in the world. Technically, he could be making like 12 mil a year if he really wanted to. The Penguins would give that to him, but he's a nice guy. He understands that there has to be more players around him in order to win. So he's going to take winning a cup over making money. And then same with Malkin, I guess, like 9.5 mil is a little bit more, but at the time he signed it, that was, pretty fair. And looking back on it now, it's still a pretty good contract with, guys on the Leafs. I don't have to look too far, making a
Yeah.
lot more money than they should be. Um, but yeah, what do you think? Do you think that the Penguins can win another Stanley Cup with Crosby and Malkin?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
110%. Um
Do you
yeah,
think
like
they
if
can win this year? So
I mean, I hope, but
yeah.
um I think they could win this year. And you know what? This year might be even the best year they have to do it. Like if you think about it, Crosby's just getting older. Like maybe this is potentially the best year, and it'll only slightly get worse. We'll see, but um, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Gretzky's got four. I want Crosby at least to tie Gretzky.
Gretzky's got 4. Yeah, I think he could do it. I really do. I think just the players that are even playing with Crosby right now, like you look at Gensel and Rust and Crosby, that's just a dominant line. And if you get hot at the right time in the playoffs, like you can definitely pull it off. So I think there's definitely a chance that they still win another cup in Pittsburgh. And that's the other point to this question. Like, can they win another cup? Like they could win another cup somewhere else, but in Pittsburgh is a different story. I don't see them getting traded. And I honestly just don't see a reason why the Penguins would have to do it either. Because like at this point in their careers, like you're not going to be able to get like a big package in return. I don't think, at least.
Yeah,
Especially
like you
for
might be able
Malkin.
to get like a couple first round picks or like maybe one and
Yeah.
a decent player for Malkin, but
Well, Malkin's a little bit different because I think Malkin is slowing down a little bit. This year, he hasn't been the most productive. But then again, it might just be because he's been banged up a little bit. He's been injured. But $9.5 million for a guy who I believe he's 34 or 35 years old.
34, I think.
34. Um, I think, a team might not be willing to pay too much for him. But you would still be able to get at least a first. Crosby, yeah, if the Penguins trade Crosby now, yeah, you get 2 firsts for sure, especially if you trade him to a contender that's going to win in the next couple of years. Like maybe you could get 2 firsts and like a high level prospect for it's Sidney Crosby. You're going to get a big deal back. But I think as they age and like the Penguins aren't going to trade them in the next like 2-3 years, at least. I don't think so, because they're still going to be in contention, right? Like, why would you trade them if you're still trying to win a cup at the same time? So I think down the road, it just wouldn't really make sense to trade them at like 37, 38 years old when you're not really going to get too much back. And you're also like, I don't think Crosby would even want to leave. I don't know if Malkin would want to leave that much. And you're kind of jeopardizing the legacy that they left on
Yeah.
on on Pittsburgh. So do you think that if they were to leave, it would kind of change what people, maybe not what people think about them, but ruin their legacy a little bit if they were to leave and go to another team?
I mean, I would definitely feel a little, yeah, like if I saw Crosby or Malkin in a different jersey, like that would be a little heartbreaking. Like, but I think Crosby's like gonna retire a Penguin for
Yeah,
sure. I don't see him like he could definitely sign a cheaper contract at any time just to retire a Penguin,
that's true.
whatever it is.
So
But
like, you mean like if he does get traded and then come back and retire as a Penguin, or
no, like
uh,
I just don't see him getting traded.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think they would do that.
yeah, I don't see it either. Like, you would obviously have to ask permission, I think, to both of them, Crosby or Malkin, or you can even put Letang in that category as well. Like we're only gonna trade you if you want to leave. Like if you really want to stay, we're gonna keep you no matter how good the return is. Just because you guys have done so much for our franchise, like we don't want to ruin anything. Like the worst case scenario would be like they trade away one of the big three, and then after they retire, you hear like some bad talking coming out from one of the three saying like, I didn't want to leave and they still traded me, or you hear like some bad talk about the Penguins organization. I don't think the Penguins would ever want to risk having a bad reputation with one of their star players.
Yeah.
So you gotta keep them happy, even though you are considering trading them. But I just don't think they would.